Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me Shail Bhatnagar. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing hour trades and the market trades, how you should be panning out. Looking at the markets, again drifting lower, 210 points lower for the Nifty, 22,300 and thereabouts is what the Nifty is hovering around. When we talk about the sectoral move, all the sectors barring the oil and gas sector are trading lower in trade, and when we talk about the big laggards, it comes from the media space. The index is down over 2%. IT space, that's down about 1.7% in trade. The PSU banking index is also taking it on the chin, 1.7% lower. Financial services, the broader markets, small cap and the mid cap indices, both are down by 1.5% each. The Nifty Bank also down by 1.5%. And most of the stocks on the Nifty are trading lower, barring just about 4-5 stocks that are holding up. So it's Reliance Industries that's pulled up and recovered from the day's low point, now up 0.5% higher in trade, providing some support to the markets. The ONGC counter that's been constantly hovering higher, it's now trading about 5.5% to 6% up in trade. Hindalco, Maruti Suzuki, Nestle and Bharti Airtel are some of the other counters that are in the green. But it's clearly the oil and gas and the metal space that is still holding on to gains despite the overall weakness that persists across the markets. Share.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the overall advanced decline picture in the market. While the index itself is showing a lot of pain, the kind of selling pressure that we had seen in the first 10 odd minutes of trade has abated to some extent. As far as the National Stock Exchange is concerned, just 312 shares are in the green compared with 1800 in the red. So the advanced decline is 1:6 favoring bears. Now what is really interesting is when you look at the volume picture is not as bad as the pain that you see in prices is. When you look at the most active counter, it's today ONGC. Of course it's in the green, so only 1700 shares have been traded, 1700 crores worth of shares have been traded. The likes of Reliance, which is the index heavyweight, is now fifth on the list, which essentially means that even if you see selling pressure or depressed prices, there is next to no volume coming in. So let's see when the recovery comes in. But as far as today's performance is concerned, you will see ONGC 2.8%, 5.8% higher at about 281. This is of course near its all-time high, and trading at about 8 to 9 PE. The counter still looks relatively undervalued when you compare it with the 23 PE at which the Nifty is trading. There is of course the brokerage report that has come in, which has a lofty price target of 390 rupees. That is enthusiastic the stock, as also the fact that global crude oil prices are now above $90 a barrel. Exide Industries, no stopping this one, 2.7% higher, 408.85. Again, this is the second most active counter on the National Stock Exchange today. 1700 shares, 1700 crores worth of transactions happening. Hindalco and aluminium, these are two stocks that need to be kept in mind. The problem with the Russian physical aluminium metal being stopped at the London Metal Exchange has added to the frenzy on the long side as far as global aluminium stocks are concerned, and Hindalco and National Aluminium are enjoying the bounce here. I believe Mr. Ayush Mehta, technical research analyst at Nirmal Bang, is with us. Good afternoon to you, Ayush. In this kind of a how should I say, dismal scenario, anything that catches your eye on the technical charts, or are you still short in the market?
Well, I'm not very positive on the index right now because we are seeing some profit bookings at higher levels. But stock specific, there's buying, and I feel it can definitely move up. So I have two stocks as of now. First is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited (HAL). So I think HAL can be bought for a target of 38.50 by keeping a strict stop loss of 35.40. There's a flat pattern breakout on this daily chart plus a multi-year breakout and height of higher bottom formation. These are very positive. These are the very positive patterns which we actually take in consideration while suggesting a stock. Where the second stock I'm liking is Graphite. So Graphite has formed a good double bottom formation on its monthly and weekly chart, which has given a good breakout of 20-day moving average. Well, Graphite can be bought as well for a target of 685 by keeping a stop loss of 635.
Okay. What's really interesting to be mentioned is that apart from Hindustan Aeronautics, it's BDL, Bharat Dynamics, that is in the green, 0.8% higher, and it's shown a very, very smart recovery from the low of about 1690 in the morning at about 1774. BEL, again in the green, almost record high. The low was 266 and the counter is at 235. BEML, a low of 3261, now 3431, and HAL, of course, Ayush has pointed out. What's really exciting at this moment is the way how auto stocks are shaping up. Days high on Maruti, remember we marked it at 12,236 when the stock itself was at its day's low, but it had recovered very sharply from there. So Maruti 1.5% higher and Mahindra and Mahindra 0.7% higher. Ayush, within the auto pack, anything that catches your attention?
Well, I was looking at the charts of Mahindra and Mahindra. It is looking good at current levels. It has given a fresh breakout of its downward sloping trend line on its intraday charts. Plus, it is well placed above all the moving averages. I think Mahindra and Mahindra can be bought at current levels. The short-term target we are seeing here is 21.25. Stop loss should be 2050.
Okay, got that. Let's look at the broader markets and see where the momentum is. Remember, in the morning trade, we had pointed out Senco Gold as a stock to watch out. It's now up 18.3%. A very strong move has been seen on Senco Gold today. You know, when we had checked it right in the morning, it was up 10, 11 odd percent, and it's now moved up to the high point of the day, about 18.3% higher on Senco Gold. Do tell us, Ayush, how do you really look at the charts, and what do you see next coming in for the stock?
Well, I had recommended Senco Gold in the morning on another channel though, and it has moved up really well. What I recommend here is to put a trailing stop loss if someone is holding the position. The trailing stop loss comes here at around 930 levels. It's approximately 18 points from here. I think no fresh buying should be done at the current levels as the risk reward is not very favorable at the moment.
Okay, got that. Let's again look at some of the other pockets that are still showing us some momentum. The oil and gas space, there is enough and more to talk about here. Apart from ONGC, that definitely is the top mover on the Nifty, 5.5% higher. There are others that are catching up into the momentum. Ceylon Exploration is up about 11.8% odd in trade. Of course, Oil India was something that did move in tandem with ONGC as well. Anything specifically that you're looking at from the oil and gas basket that looks attractive to you?
So there are two stocks which I'm liking right now in this space, which is first is MGL. So MGL is forming a good formation of its cup and handle, and it's taking a good support of its 50-day moving average, which is around 1430, currently trading around 1463, 64 levels. I think MGL can be bought once it crosses 1470. It will give a fresh breakout of its down slipping trend line as well. So I think MGL can be bought from the current levels for the target of 1550. One more stock I'm liking right now is from the mid cap space, which is Hind Oil Exploration. So this stock has performed really well in the past also. We have initiated buy calls on this. It has made a good formation on its weekly and monthly charts. Can be bought at current levels of 195 for a target of 215.
Okay, and all these stocks, whether it's Hind Oil or Ceylon Exploration, ONGC or Oil India, they are inextricably linked to how crude oil prices are moving, given the geopolitical tensions that you've seen over the weekend as far as the Israel and the Iran crisis is concerned. At about $89 to a barrel, crude oil is trading still at its highest level since end of October 2023. So with that thought in mind, as far as the background is concerned, Ceylon Exploration, Oil India, ONGC, of course, after that wonderful research report that has come in, and of course Hind Oil are moving fairly rapidly. What else is clicking? The index Nifty down a double century, 202 points lower, 22,313. Nothing much to talk about there except for defensive counters such as Sun Pharma. A mild uptick that you are seeing there needs to be sort of kept in mind. This is of course a reaction from the day's low, which was 1504, now at about 1541. Sun Pharma in the morning was trading at its lowest level since 16th of February. What else is moving which can be discussed on the long side? I'd like to mention a couple of stocks such as BEML. BEML days high 34.42. Sadly, the price ticket is pretty high. But Ayush, would you want to stake your neck out on BEML? Low of 32.61 and 34.40 is what we have on the screen.
So we have initiated buy calls on BEML as well. So if you look at the long-term chart for BEML, which is a weekly chart, it has retraced from the top and it has taken a good support with 33.85 levels on the downside currently, which is a longer-term level though. For today's session, it is trading around 3440, can be bought at the current levels for a target of 3550. There's one more company of BEML, which is BLAL, which is also good at current levels, can be bought as well. It is the land and asset management company of BEML. That stock can be bought as well if someone wants to work in the small ticket size.
Okay. The other stock that deserves mention because of the sectoral tailwind behind it is Hindalco. This one is almost at a record high. We've discussed the background on this one earlier. 2.7% higher, huge uptick in open interest, 11% up. Ayush, will this take out the previous all-time high, or are we overstretched?
Well, looking at the current chart patterns on the weekly and monthly time frames, it is looking like it is going to take out the all-time high and it will give a multi-year breakout right now. But we have to take the market conditions as well into consideration because of the pressure in Nifty and Man Nifty. I feel this is not the right time to invest into this stock because it can retrace a little bit. I feel we should definitely recommend here as buy on dips, which is around 605 levels. If we get it on the downside, we can buy this stock for a target of for the all-time high.
Okay. Got that. So that's as far as the metal space is concerned. Is real estate on your radar as well, Ayush? Looking at a constant move on Puravankara, that's now up 8.5% odd in trade, followed by moves on Ashiana Housing that moved up again for the third or fourth trading session again. How would you really look at this recent momentum that's being generated in the mid cap and the small cap real estate names?
In the mid cap and small cap index names, there's one more stock which is Capacide Infra Projects. I've been quite bullish on this stock from quite some time now, and this was on my radar. It has crossed 300 today in today's trading session. It at the open is equal to low, which is a very positive sign for this index for this stock. I think Capacide Infra Projects can be bought at current levels for a target of 320. Stop loss should be 290. Plus, Puravankara has given good breakout from quite some time now. So that's why it's a little in the overbought zone. I would recommend everyone to wait for this stock to cool down a little bit, then to re-enter.
Okay, so that's as far as this real estate stock is concerned. We'll keep an eye out on this one again. Apart from this, let's also look at where the pressure is being built in the market. It's the banking space that is now drifting towards the day's low. The Nifty Bank is facing sharper pressure now, over 750 points of a decline, 800 points of a decline can be seen on this one. It's at day's low right now, and the pressure is being across the board is being built, like be it the PSU banking space, which is now down by about almost 2%. And of course, private banks, financial services, it's an across the board kind of a dip. Ayush, would you be buying the dip in the PSU banks, considering we've had a long haul kind of a momentum here? Many investors have not been able to enter this sharp rally, but are these dips giving any opportunity to enter in the PSU banks per se? And if yes, then which are the banks that you will really pick out at this dip?
Well, I feel SBI can be bought at lower levels. We should definitely consider buying on dips in SBI. It is currently trading around 758. If we get it around between 720 to 725 range, it is a very good buy as it has got average support as well. And the second stock I'm liking here is PNB. PNB has given a good breakout and it has been continuously holding its level from quite some time now. If we get PNB in between 115 to 120 levels, it is again a good bet for the long term. So these are the two stocks I'm currently taking into consideration.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2:50 p.m. We have now exactly 40 minutes of trade left. So far, the bulls have managed to defend 22,300. Remember, the third support, the third intraday support for the index is at 22,220, and the day's low has been 22,260. We have the next 40 minutes to see whether today's low is violated and whether 2220 has will be tested or not. For the moment, things don't look good for the bulls. All I see is the color red, but it becomes difficult at this point of time to sort of take views. But what I'll do is I'll mark a stock which is Indus Star and Idea Cellular for two reasons, which is we have the FPO of Vodafone Idea open in the market. Vodafone Idea is also up marginally. I think the price that I see is somewhere like 1320, just mildly 5 paise higher. The counter that's doing pretty well is Indus Stars. To my mind, this is an 52-week high as far as the prices are concerned. I see 335.40 for me. Not only is this an intraday high, this is the highest that we've seen since December of 2017. Remember, Vodafone Idea as well as Bharti Airtel are major shareholders of Indus Star, which provides the back-end telecom network for these two giants, as also for other people who hire their facilities. Intraday high again on BEML. We had just checked this one at 34.58. Jubilant Pharma is doing pretty well, 644.9. I see a lot of block deals happening. Sadly, none of them are in the green, so there is no point mentioning these names. But Masgao Dock probably needs to be seen. 243 crores worth of transactions that have happened. The counter is 3% lower. What else is sticking? Selling pressure on KPIT Technologies, 1430 for you, 3% lower. Fairly decent volumes, 120 crores. It's higher than the 5-day average. Even Birla Soft is under pain. So it's hard to sort of come up with anything positive that's happening in the markets, except for the likes of Hindalco, ONGC, Nalco, to some extent Senco Gold, of course to a very large extent Senco Gold. This is a company that has declared phenomenal numbers, and of course related to the gold space is Catholic Syrian Bank, CSB Bank, which broke out early morning, went above 400 rupees and is still doing a fine job. 405.90, very very heavy volumes. You see about 21 lakh shares being traded against the 5-day average of just 6 lakh shares. So about a 3x higher volume and a breakout that has taken the stock all the way up to January levels. Ayush, your view on CSB Bank?
So we have initiated a buy call on CSB at the levels of 395, where it had given a fresh breakout. It was on Friday, but it closed on the lower level, and it has given a good breakout and almost reached at 409. I think it can reach up to 422, can be bought at current levels also. We are seeing some good volume also in the stock. So CSB can definitely be bought for a target of 422 to 425.
So that's the view coming in on CSB Bank. Well, let me ask you, Ayush, to give your view on NTPC. It's recovered from the day's low. It's a 1/4% higher in trade. The power space has been buzzing, and we've been constantly tracking this entire space. NTPC has been one of the better performers in the entire power space. How do you really see NTPC charts right now? What comes next for the counter?
So looking at 370. Once it closes above 370, and then we can take a buy call on this. And unless we have to avoid it, we have to. Once it crosses 370, then we can levels of 380 also in this.
Okay, one day has to cross 370, only then you can think of initiating a buy at this point in time. one should be waiting and watching out for. What else looks attractive to you in the power space? Any chart that looks positive to you? A whole host of them are looking at profits being taken off at the higher levels today. But anything that you'd like to add at this point in time from the power space?
So we were always bullish on Tata Power, and even today it is performing quite well. There's not very extensive profit selling has been seen in this stock. So I think Tata Power is still okay right now. If you get it around 415 to 420, that will be actual buying zone for this stock. If we buy it around 415 to 420, then we can see an upside towards 475 also in this stock. Plus the support point here is 20-day moving average, which is around 400. So I think it shouldn't go below that levels.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on Tata Power. Well, I just wanted to point out one stock in the gainers list as far as the broader markets are concerned, Capri Global Capital. The stock is trading at around 248.8. It's up by 13.5%. A very strong surge has been able to see. We've been able to see today. Ayush, do you track Capri Global from the NBFC space? Is this a stock that you like based on the charts?
Well, I'm not able to pull out the data of Capri Global. If you can help me with the code, then I can definitely find it out.
So it's trading at 247.7 right now, Capri Global. It's 13.18% higher in trade right now, up about 29 odd rupees can be seen on this one.
So this is trading around 248 right now. Yes, I got the chart of Capri Global here. So one second. Yes. So it has given a good breakout, but it's a little, the volumes are a little less in the stock, and we see such momentum in low time frames only. So as long as it is holding 243, the existing investor should continue to hold this position. And if it closes above 243, then maybe tomorrow we can initiate buy calls on this for a target of 290 here.
Okay, that's about the NBFC that's clicking right there in front of you. The top gainer in the NSE 500 index is Capri Global. Will you do an unusual thing, ladies and gentlemen? Given the fact that you have a massive red tick across the market, at the same time, let's look at stocks that have hit record highs. This will give you an idea as to where, in the worst form of sentiment, is money moving in, and therefore when things turn good, these stocks will rise farther still. Okay, two names are fairly easy to guess: BEL 235.30, about a percent higher, and Hindustan Aeronautics 36.37. This is doing also pretty well. The day high and record high on HAL has been 3700. Excite, we've discussed threadbare, 410 rupees for you. Another very well-known research report giving them a thumbs up. Now, interesting names: Anand Rathi Wealth. The management was with us today. They've done a fantastic job and have announced a 165 crore rupee buyback. Remember, less than 1 year ago, the stock was at 800. Today at 4,185 for you, 4% higher. Thermax 46.96, 3% higher, following the leads of larger infra players such as ABB and Siemens. So Thermax is now at a fresh record peak. What else is moving? Aster DM, the company is to announce a very strong dividend payout. They had exited one of their operations in the Gulf, and that money has been distributed as dividend to existing shareholders. I think 115 rupees. 521 for you, 6.8% higher. The move on Indus Tower continues, 336.7, and apart from that, it's very, very difficult to even point out anything that worthwhile would be going up. I think brokerage stocks such as Religare are doing pretty well, 227.50. I'll just check whether it's in the green or not, but it is still at its highest intraday level. Apart from Religare, okay, no, I don't think so. It's in the green. The low is 222, and it's at 226. So still in the red, but nevertheless at day's high. Bajaj Finance negotiating its 200-day moving average, and of course you have the likes of HDFC Bank slipping fairly sharply, 1493. If it weren't for Reliance Industries today, and that's how the Nifty has been managed, ladies and gentlemen, if it weren't for Reliance Industries today, you would have seen the Nifty below 22,250 or even 22,220. RIL 0.3% higher. The day's low, interestingly, is 2892, and the stock is at 2947. Sakshi.
Right, so the markets are slipping even further. They've given up 22,300 for now. 22,280 can be seen on the Nifty, and the pressure is escalating where it has been. Some profits taken off from the oil and gas space as well. The index is now up 0.5%. It was trading higher by over 1% just a while ago again. So pressure being built up across the board is what we can see. But thanks a lot, Ayush, for being with us on the show and sharing all those stock ideas with our viewers. Good to have you with us on Business Today. Meanwhile, let's also welcome our other guest on the show now. Ruchit Jain is with us. He's the lead research analyst at 5paisa. Ruchit, good afternoon to you. Good to have you with us on Business Today. A difficult day to trade, clearly. Very few names are showing up strength at this point in time. How are you advising investors and traders to really look at this day? Should this be just a day where you should not be trading at this point in time? Let the situation calm down. How are you really looking at the situation currently?
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon, Sakshi. Well, Sakshi, we have seen some correction in last couple of trading sessions, mainly because of that rising geopolitical tensions and the global markets have reacted negatively. But what we can see that the momentum has turned a bit negative on the daily charts, where RSI has given a negative crossover, but index has not broken its immediate supports yet. Now, the 40-day exponential moving average for Nifty is coming around 22,200. So I think that will be very crucial, and until we see a breakdown below that 22,200 mark, we think that one should not initiate any aggressive short positions over here. Generally, corrections are of two types. When momentum readings give negative crossover, sometimes it turns out to be a price-wise correction, and sometimes it turns out to be a time-wise correction. So only if we see a breakdown below the 22,200 mark, then I think there would be chances of this correction extending a bit price-wise. Otherwise, possibility of some consolidation within this 22,200 to 22,500 range would be there. So for now, I think it's better to take a stock-specific approach, not expecting any significant down move price-wise. But yes, time-wise correction could be seen where 200, 300 points range in the Nifty would be seen. At high levels, we witnessed some pullback move from the low levels today. At high levels, you would see selling pressure, and good buying interest could be seen once index approaches 22,200 mark.
Let's look at some other trends that are now apparent in the market. A very good afternoon to you, Ruchit, and a very warm welcome on Market Today. Let's look at some stocks that are trending. Your view on Excite first. This is the 7th day in a row, despite whatever is happening in the broader market, that the price is up and at a record high. How do you see Excite at current levels?
Yeah, very good afternoon. There's no doubt about the trend that in spite of market going down, if the stock is showing a good strength, this clearly indicates a good buying interest over there. And if you look at the price volume action of last 1 week, then the volume, it was not just that, based on the recent news flows which we saw, it was not just a 1 day of action, but a consistent move has been seen, which is supported by higher volumes. So this is a sign of a broader uptrend, and I think that uptrend could continue going ahead also. Now, if one is looking for fresh entry, then the risk reward ratio is not favorable because the stock has already seen a good amount of a move, and on any kind of dips, the support for the stock would be seen if we get any dip around 380, 370 kind of range. So in case if we see any dip around that 380, 370 range, then that would be a good buy again, where counter trades could be taken. But yes, if any existing long positions are there, then looking at the strength which is the stock is showing, it's better to ride this trend with a bit of mid to long term perspective.
Fair point. The other breakdown that I'd like to point out is in Tata Communications. The PCR will draw a long-term chart for you, ladies and gentlemen. What's really happened is that over the last 5 or 6 trading sessions, the stock has slipped dramatically, and while it has slipped, it has also gathered volume. So Tata Communication is down for 6 days in a row, and when you look at the volume, it's rising on 4 successive days. Ruchit, this is a breakdown. How do you see Tata Communications?
So there is a bit negative divergence on the RSI as well. If you compare the price and RSI along with the 11th March of high, we witnessed a high of around 2038, 2040 on 11th of March when the after which the stock corrected. A new high was formed at the start of the April, where 2085 was the new like a new high in the stock. But this price, a new high in the price, has not been confirmed by the new high in RSI. A lower high was seen in RSI, which technically we read as negative divergence. Such divergences indicate a loss of momentum and a lack of buying interest at higher levels. So I think the stock could see some more correction. Next support would come around 1850, 1860 range, where no 89 days exponential moving average is there. But no, definitely not a stock where one should do any kind of bottom fishing over here unless we see a good amount of no price volume action again coming in.
Okay, well, the markets are even drifting lower now. About 250 points of a cut can be seen on the Nifty, 22,270, and you can see top 5 counters that are contributing the most to this fall. Most of them are from the banking and the IT space. So HDFC Bank is contributing about 42, 43 odd points on the downside on the Nifty. ICICI Bank is contributing about 38 points. There's L&T that's contributing 22 points. Infosys and TCS are contributing about 14 points on the lower side as well at this point in time. So that's the weakness that is continuing. And now on the Nifty, you only are left with 4 stocks into the green. ONGC, you have Hindalco, you have Maruti Suzuki, and Nestle. These are the only 4 counters that are into the green. Rest of them have all slipped in trade. The Nifty Oil and Gas Index that was hovering about 1% over is now slipping from the day's high point. It's just up about 0.2% higher in trade. So there is profit booking at the oil and gas index as well, and pressure escalating, especially in the PSU banks. The index is now down by over 2%. The Nifty Next 50 index is down by 1.8%. Financial services, small caps, 1.7% down each. The Nifty Bank down by about 1.7% right now as well. Across the board, you actually see a whole host of stocks that are trading lower. The top losers on the Nifty, Bajaj, Wipro, ICICI Bank, UPL, Adani Ports, and also Eicher Motors and Tata Motors. These are the other stocks that are trending lower. The auto space is also looking
Recording
weak
in
at this point in
progress.
time, Rujit. But would you be tempted to buy any of these stocks? They had just started to give us that uptrend when it comes to the auto space after a long haul, especially the two-wheeler names. Would you look to add any in these tips?
Very selectively. I think no, the strength is still there broadly. We have seen that in spite of the fall, not all the stocks have corrected very sharply, and the kind of outperformance that the Nifty Auto Index or some of the auto stocks have shown in last 1.5 months certainly indicates a longer term uptrend which is going on in this sector. But amongst the two wheeler space, if I do some relative analysis of all the stocks, I think Bajaj Autos consistently have stood out and have shown a good outperformance. Even corrections we have not seen any kind of high volume based sell off in Bajaj Auto. So buy and dip strategy I would recommend, not to chase at high levels, but in case if you get any kind of declines around 8500 odd levels, then that could be a good opportunity to take some contra bets again over there. But of course, as I said, not the sector where I would advise to chase at high levels, but buy and dip strategy should be a prudent one to enter these names.
Okay, fair point on that one as far as the auto space is concerned. And let's again look at the ones that are actually taking it on the chin. Balrampur Chini is trading with 7% losses as far as the F&O space is concerned. Metropolis Healthcare is now down 6.5%. Remember, the last week we did see Metropolis Healthcare as among the top performers from the healthcare basket and the diagnostic spaces. Tata Chemicals is trending lower, 4.4% lower in trade as far as the F&O space is concerned. You also have Bandhan Bank, Hindustan Copper, Coforge, and IEX, some of these counters that are trading with losses. Tata Chemicals, give me your view here on Tata Chemicals, Rujit, and do tell me that just about 10 days ago, this entire flavor of the chemical space started to build up. A lot of positive calls around stocks like Aarti Industries were coming in. Tata Chemicals also now 4% lower. Would you be looking at, tempted to add this position at this point in time?
So in last 1.5 months, you've seen a lot of volatility in Tata Chemical, mainly because of some news flows that we earlier saw on the probability of Tata Sons getting listed. When the stock, based on the news flows in the markets which are doing rounds, the stock rallied very sharply from 950 to 1350, 1370 kind of levels. But then equally, a sharp direction was again seen. So a lot of volatility is there in the stocks, and I think even the markets, in such kind of markets, is better to focus on sub low beta stocks where the relative volatility is lower. So I won't be much keen to add Tata Chemicals over here from a trading perspective. I think once the stock sees a breakout about 1200 or any kind of declines towards 1000, 1020 kind of range, then the risk reward ratio could turn a bit favorable for taking fresh longs over there. But within the entire chemical basket, I think Aarti Industries looks much better because of the price volume action that has been strong in the stock. The moves have been supported by good volumes, not the stock where we see high volatility based on news flows. So I think Aarti Industries looks a bit better in case if you get any dips towards 730, 720 range. So I think Aarti Industries could be a better pick within the chemical basket.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 16 minutes, 18 minutes to go as far as today's trade is concerned. It's only a matter of time, a couple of minutes, when today's low, which was 22,260, is broken. And that's because there is serious selling pressure now coming in Reliance. Almost it's approaching 29.27. Let's look at what Reliance is at the moment, 29.46 in futures, just about 6 rupees higher. Remember, it's reacting from a day's high of 29.64. Let's see what the next 16-18 minutes come in. I see a lot of activity happening on the put side, which essentially means that now short positions are getting built up. It means that people are planning that markets will open lower still tomorrow morning. Let's see how that is now visible as far as the Nifty. The advanced decline ratio is abysmal. 44 stocks within the Nifty are down. In the broader markets, the advanced decline ratio is equally in favor of bears as far as volume is concerned. All 12 stocks in the Nifty PSU banking index are in the red. If you look at the small cap index, the small cap 100 index, 85 stocks are in the red out of 100. When you look at the NSE 500, this is the broadest measure that we track. It is down 1.3%, and out of 500 stocks, 419 are in the red. What's clicking, Sakshi? Gold. Senco is now 20% higher.
Clearly, and that's what everybody is looking at this point in time. Ruchit, were you tempted to buy gold at such high levels offline at your nearby jewelry stores, or are you looking at playing the stock market through Muthoot, Manappuram, or through jewelry makers like Senco?
So actually, my wife does that on my behalf. She buys physical gold so that the portfolio is diversified.
Okay, what about the stocks related to bullion?
So I think definitely some good amount of buying interest has been seen in stocks such as Senco Gold, based on the price that we have seen rise in gold prices. The volumes are also good. So I think Senco Gold is one stock where a consolidation breakout has been seen today. So we could see a continuation of the uptrend. But if you look at the structure, then fresh buying, I think the risk reward ratio is not that favorable because the stop losses are too far. If you look at the Senco Gold today, which is already up 18%, the average support for the stock is coming around 800 odd rupees. So I think that if one has to take exposure, then maybe one should lower the quantity. One can look for buying interest in such gold related stocks, but the quantity of exposure should be less, because as you chase the stocks after the stocks have already rallied, the risk reward ratio becomes a bit unfavorable there.
Okay, got that.
Let's look at, ladies and gentlemen. Please continue, Sakshi. Please continue.
Michelle, some other stocks that are at the fag end really moving up are some stocks from the FMCG basket. Nestle was already up. Britannia is ticking higher now. It's seeing some buying action emerge. Sun Pharma is into the green. So I can see some defensive names definitely emerging towards the end of the session. And just I think some time back at around 2:30, we did have the IMD, give its projections as far as normal monsoon is also concerned. I will try to fish out some of the statements that I have come at. Okay, so I have it. Met Department has given the first long-range southwest monsoon forecast of 2024. And they've said that monsoon rainfall is seen above normal in 2024. Rains are seen at 106% of the long-term average, and with cumulative rainfall which is estimated at this of the long period average of 87 centimeters. That's the kind of statement that's coming from IMD. Would you look at the FMCG basket, which we track very closely when it comes to monsoon related news coverage and on rural recovery, and tell us how are you looking at this entire underperforming space, and are there any early signs of green shoots emerging here of a recovery stemming in a 0.5% increase on Nestle, about 0.3% of an increase on Britannia?
So yeah, as you rightly said, a lot of underperformance has been seen within the Nifty FMCG space. The stocks have not participated in the uptrend in last few months, and very few stocks are looking positive even at current levels. A couple of name if I take, and Compal has been one of the stock which has shown a good relative outperformance in this last few months. Stock has rallied in spite of the sector not doing well. So I think this is one stock where the strength could continue. And amongst the stocks which have already corrected, Marico has shown some initial signs of reversal. Last week we witnessed a price up move supported by a better volumes, and in case if the stock gives a follow-up move in the near term and gives a breakout above 525 kind of range, then I think Marico would be another name from the FMCG space, that could see some good decent up move. So overall no reversal signs for now, but I think very selective names could do well, where Colpal and Marico, based on price volume action, are looking good.
Okay. I think the entire gold basket now needs to be examined afresh. We are closing at days high on CSB Bank. The price that we checked last was 405, 406. It's now 416, and the volume has accelerated, ladies and gentlemen. This is the highest volume that I see since 22nd of August 2023, when the stock was just 307 rupees. So very, very strong move coming in. Remember, gold financing is one of the biggest business contributors for CSB Bank. Let us also look at what is the all-time high of CSB Bank, which is 422 rupees. Given the momentum that we are seeing now, this is a fresh upthrust that is coming. Now also look at Muthoot Finance and Manappuram Finance. These are NBFCs. They are market leaders in the same business. The low of Muthoot Finance was 1610 today. It's now at 1647 towards close, and Manappuram Finance, of course, is also buzzing, which is the day's low of 184 and now at 189. So the dip has been purchased. CSB Bank taking it away now, 416 for you, and as I had mentioned, very, very heavy volumes. This is something that we will look again at tomorrow. What's also interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is Another stock, one of the finest, if not the best balance sheet in corporate India, belongs to Sundaram Finance. 4600, days low is 4410. It's closing not only near its days high but also at a record high, and this is something that can be taken as a chart check. Ruchit, to you, your views on Sundaram Finance. I generally don't stick my neck out anywhere in terms of a buy or sell call, but I can assure you, after 30 years of watching Sundaram Finance, this is one of the best balance sheets I have ever read over all sorts of time frames. Extremely bullish, extremely bearish, bull markets, bear markets, anywhere. Sundaram Finance.
So clearly that can also be seen no, along with the price performance.
I think we are showing the just just a moment, Ruchit. I think we have the wrong stock. I'm not talking about Sundaram Finance Holdings. I'm talking about Sundaram Finance, the one at 4400. Just a moment, Ruchit. Yes, this one, 4600. Yours, Ruchit.
Yeah, so no, as you said, no, the positivity has clearly been seen in the price structure as well. The stock has rallied sharply higher in last few months, and in fact, if you look at last couple of years price action, there is consistent high top, high bottom structure, and any kind of dips, we have not seen any kind of volume based selling on declines. And if we see minor dips that are coming around the 100-day exponential moving average or 89-day exponential moving average, those dips are getting bought into. So I think the trend still remains quite strong in spite of no such volatility or such no correction in the broader markets. If the stock is holding well, then this clearly shows the relative strength, and this uptrend could continue going ahead. Now, the best way to ride this trend is to keep us the trailing stop loss method below its support, and until we get any kinds of reversals or any kind of volume based selling, it's better to ride this trend. So anyone with existing long positions should continue to hold on. Fresh buying could also be done over here. The stop loss should be placed below 4200, and as the stock moves higher, move your stop losses higher and continue to ride this trend.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have just 8 minutes left for trade. Let's just decisively look at what both the indices are doing. We'll start with the Bank Nifty first. You have 47,770 for you. This is a downtick of 800 points. Not only did the Bank Nifty open gap down, it is now closing near its day's low. This does not look good as far as bulls are concerned. The point that is supporting the Bank Nifty is the 20-day exponential moving average at 47,770. If this breaks, then the medium term, the short term trend then moves towards, let's just say it moves away from being a bull. Anything that is below 20 DMA is then watched with a jaundiced eye. Let's look at the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen. You have the day's low now, 22,270, 250 points lower. The Nifty has been saved by its 34-day exponential moving average. It's below 20. So essentially means that the trend on a daily basis within the Nifty has moved away from it being a bull. None of the support levels have worked, and my understanding is that tomorrow 22,222 will be taken out with a gap down, given the way how shorts are building up as far as the interest, the top index heavyweights are concerned. We tracked 10 of them for you. Even Reliance has now shifted into the red. It is 5 rupees lower, 29.29. Remember, Reliance was the only index heavyweight that was holding the Nifty to some extent above 22,300, and that has also now slipped in the red. The top loser as far as index heavyweights are concerned is Bajaj Finserv, 2.5% lower, 1656. Private sector banks, ICICI Bank, 2.4% lower, 1078. Bajaj Finance, 2% lower, 7070. HDFC Bank, 1.6% lower, 1493. The broader tone of the market is also bearish. Please do not try to catch this falling knife. Let the market stabilize. This is the second day of losses. There is much ahead in terms of pain as far as the markets are concerned. Sakshi.
Right, 3:25, 5 minutes to go. Ruchit, any BTST, STBT trades that you'd like to highlight for our viewers?
Well, from a buying perspective, not exactly BTST, but I would suggest a very short-term trading call, which is a buy call in ONGC. Looking at the market's close, I won't recommend BTST, but ONGC has certainly given a breakout from a consolidation phase today. And last 1.5, 2 months, the prices were consolidating, which seemed to be a time-wise correction within a trend. You look at volumes in today's trading session, it is much higher than what we usually see. It's no average volumes. The breakout should lead to further higher prices of around 300 rupees in the short term. So, therefore, short-term traders can look to buy ONGC over here, keeping stop loss below 270 from probable targets around 300. But from a day's perspective, I think looking at markets volatility, I would say not to take any carry trade home and rather look to enter tomorrow if one is looking for any intraday trades.
Okay, so that's ONGC for you at this point in time. Very few bright spots remaining in the markets. It's ONGC, Hindalco, Maruti, Nestle, and Britannia, which are seen holding on to the green ticks in the on the Nifty. Nifty itself is down about over 1% now, so it's slipped almost to the day's low. And when we talk about the FNO space, along with ONGC, you also have Vodafone Idea that's moving up 3.5% higher. You have Nalco that's up by 2.5%. Exide Industries, we've discussed this as well, 2.3% higher in trade. Then you also have Indus Towers, again along with the news of Vodafone Idea, that's moving up. Gujarat Gas, Mahanagar Gas, Aditya Birla Capital, that's a new name that's sprung up towards the closing of the session. On Aditya Birla Capital, is there a trade that one should be looking at tomorrow? Rujit?
So the broader trend for the stock has been positive, but no, I would say in case if you get any dip tomorrow towards 195, 190 range, then one can look for buying opportunities over there.
Okay. Tell us, how do you expect viewers to be prepared for tomorrow? What is the thing to be kept in mind, and how does one really move into the trade tomorrow then? Rujit.
Yeah, so no, as I said, the markets are expected to remain volatile. The support for the Nifty is coming around 22,200 to 220 range. So no, one should avoid taking any aggressive trades today looking at the closing. But tomorrow, if the market stabilizes around the 22,200 to 220 and we witness any kind of pullback move, then I think no buying interest could be taken over there. But largely, I expect markets to show some time-wise correction over here where consolidation would be seen when the index approaches the support, and you would see some buying interest, and again on intraday pullbacks at high levels you would see some selling pressure. So not expecting any big returns for very short-term traders on the index front, but no, avoid chasing the markets after an up move, as we saw today also. The markets rallied higher from after gap down opening but was not able to sustain at high levels. So avoid chasing such moves. If one has to take any counter trades or buy, then look to buying around the supports of 22,200 to 220.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let's wrap the market. I'm going to mention stocks who have risen today amidst the carnage that you see in the broader market, and their volume has been much higher than 5-day average. That goes on to show that the momentum on them will be stronger in the coming days. ONGC 5.8% higher. Today's volume of 7.5 crore shares is 4.7 times the 5-day average. Hindalco 2.4% higher. 2.7 crore shares have been traded, 3.5 times the 5-day average. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to Maruti. This is closing in the green, 1% higher. 8.24 lakh shares have been traded, and this is 1.7 times the 5-day average. Similarly, look at Britannia. This is something that we've marked just now, 4760, 0.2% higher, and 4,21,000 shares have been traded. This is 1.2 times the 5-day average. Nestle is also in the green, 0.5% higher. Volume is 1x 5-day average. Markets just about to close. 22,275 has been the close on the Nifty. 47,750 is the close on the Bank Nifty. The IT index has been a disappointment. Remember, this was the one that was in the green early morning, but now closing 570 points lower. 34 440. Remember, it's a truncated week. Tomorrow you will see the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty because Wednesday is a holiday. Therefore, option premia is getting squeezed, and therefore you see this very strong selling pressure that's coming into the market. Only and only gold financing companies, gold making companies have shown in trade today. The market ending the first day of the week on the back foot. Sakshi.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ranrujit, for being with us onto this very special edition and helping us navigate through various moves in the markets. 241 points lower in trade is what the Nifty is ending the day at. 22,277 as the closing level. Right. With that, we wrap up this special edition. Many thanks for being with us, viewers. But do stay logged on to Business Today Television, as even beyond the market hours, the coverage continues from the world of business and finance. So stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Many thanks.
Let me ask, before I open it up to the audience, Dr. Panigan and to Dr. Leary. We've talked about a lot about economic growth, lots of figures.